This video is for Rodney and Roush Racing. Welcome to the RegenX generator, alternator, and RegenX quantum motor demonstration. This is a quick little introduction into electric vehicle regenerative acceleration, which is the exact opposite of electric vehicle regenerative braking. And what we're going to demonstrate in this video is the RegenX generator, which can also be an alternator in an internal combustion engine, and the RegenX quantum motor, which is an extreme example of the RegenX alternator. So what's the difference between a RegenX alternator and a conventional alternator? Well, a conventional alternator, when it's connected to the battery or the generator in an electric vehicle, when it's connected to the battery, it produces EV regenerative braking. And EV regenerative braking is a counter electromagnetic torque, which works in opposition to the direction of the drive motor. So in this prototype, we have a conventional coil, so we can demonstrate what happens to our system in conventional generator operation, EV regenerative braking. The conventional generator coil or alternator coil performs negative work and it resists the rotation of our prime mover. It resists the rotation of our internal combustion engine, and it reduces the kinetic energy of our electric vehicle. That's why it's called regenerative braking. Electric vehicle regenerative braking isn't really braking per se. It's negative work that's being performed by the generator. So EV regenerative braking, the classical engineering term is generator armature reaction or motor action in a generator. And the motor action is negative motor action. So the generator or alternator is always working against the direction, the torque supplied by the prime mover, and it's always going to reduce the kinetic energy of the system or the kinetic energy of the EV. So the RegenX alternator, on the other hand, it produces electric vehicle regenerative acceleration. It produces a complementary electromagnetic torque, and it performs positive work, system kinetic energy increase, when it's recharging an electric vehicle's battery. If a RegenX alternator was in an internal combustion engine car, it would add horsepower to the internal combustion engine, and that's part of the initiative that I'm trying to put forward with regards to Roush Racing, and we'll get into that in more detail on the phone call. The third thing that we're going to be demonstrating in this video is the RegenX quantum motor. And the RegenX quantum motor is the world's first electric motor that performs work but doesn't require any electric input, any external input. So all conventional electric motors, such as this one here, require electric input power when they are performing work and accelerating the system. And the RegenX quantum motors that are coils, there are 4 of them, and their output is here. When they're in motor mode, they are performing positive work, increasing the kinetic energy of the system, but they do not require any externally supplied input power. And that's the secondary component of the initiative that that I'm interested in exploring with Roush Racing. So our RegenX alternator is connected to the battery. I'm going to bring this system up to speed. It's a little bit loud, but nevertheless, I'm going to bring it up to operating speed, which is about 3,500 RPM. Then I'm going to put the conventional generator on load. And unfortunately, I don't have my handheld tachometer with me today. But when the conventional coil, which is this one here, is placed on low, when it's connected to the battery, we'll be recharging the battery, and you will notice some system deceleration. And then when we go into RegenX alternator mode or regenerative acceleration mode, there will be a noticeable increase in speed of the system, and the current that we're delivering to the battery will also go up. And then finally, I'll put it into RegenX quantum motor mode, and this is where we produce the maximum amount of acceleration in our system. So I'm going to start up the EV drive motor, the prime mover, and or the internal combustion engine, and then we'll start the demo. System is at rotational equilibrium right now, and I'm going to connect the conventional coil, and we will be able to observe regenerative braking in our system. So currently we're delivering 3.3 amps to our battery, and we're charging our battery in regenerative braking mode. And now I'm going to put this system into regenerative acceleration mode. So now we're in regenerative acceleration mode. The speed of our system has increased, and the current that we're delivering to the battery has increased to 4.6 amps. So we'll do that again. Maybe I should just hold these. Conventional generator mode to start. .31 amps to the battery in regenerative braking mode. Our generator is producing a counter electromagnetic torque and decelerating the system. And now we're in regenerative acceleration mode, and recharging our battery and accelerating the system. And finally, I'm going to put the system into ReGenX quantum motor mode. Our system is going to produce the maximum torque and the maximum acceleration, but we will not be supplying any external input energy to the quantum motor coils. So that's RegenX quantum motor mode. I'll put it back into no load again. And once again into RegenX quantum motor mode. So the RegenX quantum motor adds torque and kinetic energy to the system, to the internal combustion engine and or electric vehicle. The RegenX generator provides battery recharge with system acceleration as well. Not as much system acceleration as the RegenX quantum motor, but system acceleration nonetheless, and battery recharge. And just to establish conventional electric vehicle regenerative braking, we also saw the conventional generator coil that's in the system operating as a conventional alternator. and or EV regenerative braking. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I look forward to talking to you when it's convenient. Thank you.